If you are new to the channel, then subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for further notification. Okay student, welcome you all to this new topic, that is coordinate geometry or straight line. So this topic is totally based on visualization, so I have tried to give my best to visualize you all the things. So I will be starting with some basics of coordinate geometry from your class 10 onwards, some distance formula, division, midpoint, and then centroid, area, and then polar coordinates of a point. Okay, then let's see the basics of the coordinate geometry first. So in the coordinate geometry, if you start with your class 10 coordinate geometry, we'll start it from class 10. This is your x or x axis, this is y or y dash, positive side of x, negative side of x, positive side of y, negative side of y dash. So this is a plane, this is a xy plane. You can think of 2D only, it's 2 dimension only. So this if you take a point P, then the distance from its x-axis, the distance from its y-axis, this is PM and PN. So if I say the coordinate of P is x comma y 2 comma 3, that means I move 2.2 unit in x direction, then 3 unit 1 y direction. So this is x, this is y. So that means your OM is equal to x, which is known as abscissa, and ON, this is your P. ON, this height, which is nothing but MP, this is equal to y, which is known as ordinate. So both this together is known as the coordinate of the P. That is the coordinate of the P, x and y. So this is the very basic of coordinate geometry. So there are 4 quadrants. You can see is this plane is divided into 4 quadrants, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this coordinate is not you can think of any way you can take xy dimensions. Suppose someone can take this also x, this also y, this also x o x dash, this also y o y dash. That means he is looking the curve in this direction. So this is not fixed, so you can change the axis at any time. So he is looking the curve in this direction, this is x o x dash. So someone can look in this direction, someone can look in this direction also. This is x o x dash and this is y o y dash. Then what will be this direction? So he is looking in this direction, something of this. You can see something of this direction. So this is horizontal, this is his x, this is his y. So same point P can be written as different coordinate system depending on different reference axis. So from what axis you are looking at, that is very important, because I am looking at this is my horizontal for me, this is my vertical for me, because I am looking from this side. So that depends on you how you choose your axis. If you choose axis, then these also coordinates also change. So first you fix axis, then you fix the points, then all the points will be named or coordinate given in reference to your axis, what axis you have chosen. With reference to that, all coordinates points will be given coordinate. Okay, now what is the very basic formula you have studied? That is the distance between 2 points. Suppose you have a point x1 y1, x2 y2. So suppose this is my coordinate system, x and y. I have not drawn it. Suppose this is my reference system. So this is x1. So what is the distance? Here it is x1. What is the distance? This is x2. So if I want to make this distance only, so this is x2 minus x1. And similarly this height is y2, this height is y1, because it is y1. So this length is y2 minus y1. So what will be this one? This is Pythagoras theorem. This is 90 degree. So it is under root this square plus this square. Under root x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. So it becomes the distance between the point AB. Okay. Now this is the very standard distance formula. So from point of division, suppose you have a line AB. There are 2 types of division. One you might have studied, that is internal division, and one might you have not studied, that is external division. Suppose there is a point which is inside AB and which is dividing AB in the ratio m is to n. That means the distance between A to P and distance between P to B is m is to n ratio. That is AP is to PB is equal to m is to n ratio. So what will be the coordinate of the P? Again the same formula, distance formula, can be used to find this one, because this, if you find the distance between these two, take ratio which would be in the ratio m is to n. So this distance by this distance equal to m is to n ratio. Using this formula you can prove it, but wherever the proof is necessary I proved it, and where the visualization is important I proved it, but it is not required, you can easily do it. So you directly remember it, you can. So x is equal to, it is, how you will remember, m into x2. The m will be multiplied by the, not the side with which it is belonging. So m will be multiplied by the opposite side, abscissa, that is mx2 plus nx1. You can see that is m is going with that side, n is going with this side, divided by m plus n. Similarly y for my2 and y1 divided by m plus 1. So you can remember it that way, the opposite way. Now what is external division? AB is your initial line. Now P is a point which is outside AB, which is also dividing AB in the ratio 2 ratio. What is the ratio? What is the division condition? The distance between that point and A and that point and B is in the m:n ratio. So distance between AP and PB, that remains same, AP PB. But the thing is P is just outside. So AP, this whole becomes M and this portion become N. So this is the ratio m:n. So what will be the coordinate of this P? So here it is, everything is same, just a minus in case of, because it is considered as, you can think it is m minus n, this one m minus n is to n, and you can use this formula to find y also, the earlier formula. So it can be remembered directly. For external it is minus. So you can extend this now, this point of division formula for midpoint formula. If you have a point AB, suppose a line AB and P is the midpoint of this one, so what will be the ratio? This length is to this length is 1:1, same length because it is midpoint. So if you put 1:1, so here also, and that is internal division, so 1 1 1 1, so it will be x2 plus x1 by 1 plus 1 2, so that is x1 plus x2 by 2, x coordinate. Similarly y will be also y1 plus y2 by 2. You can see it here. Now what is the image of the point P? If you know that coordinate system, let me extend it, that coordinate little bit. What is the image of P on x-axis? It will be, if you take image, it will be x minus y dash. Similarly, if you take the point P and your image on y-axis, what will be this point? Your image will be, image means what? The distance, same distance it will follow here. But it was upward, it is downward, so it will be minus y. Similarly, whatever distance it here, same distance will be, so it will be minus x comma y. This one. If you take image on y-axis. Now you will see coordinate is a funny thing. If you do anything on x-axis, the y is changing. So you are taking image on x-axis, y is changing to minus y. You are taking image on y-axis, the x is changing here. So it is vice versa. You will see lots of other phenomena also going in this way. If you are doing on x, you see that y coordinate is changing. If you do it on y-axis, you see that x coordinate is changing. So these two are the basics of coordinate geometry only. Now if you extend it for centroid of a triangle, how to find centroid of a triangle? So what is the centroid? The median is divided into 2:1 ratio in the centroid. So this coordinate is the midpoint of BC. So what will be the coordinate? x2 plus x3 by 2, y2 plus y3 by 2. So you know this coordinate D, you know this coordinate. So you can divide it into 2:1 ratio using this one formula, m:n ratio. So what will be the coordinate of this one? M, this is m, 2, multiplied by the opposite one, m into this coordinate, m into this, plus n into 1 into x. Similarly, m into y, y2, n into y1 divided by m plus n. So if this is the formula for coordinate centroid, x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3, y1 plus y2 plus y3 divided by 3. This should be 3, corrected in your note. Now how to find the area of the triangle? Again, this can also be proved, but I am not proving it, so you can directly remember it. Proof, I am not going through it. It is not required. It is easy. So you take 3 coordinates and you try to use that s into s minus into s minus v into s minus c formula. S is the sum of, because you know now 3 points, you can find 3 distance and you can use this one to find. But that will be long proof, don't need to go by that. You remember this one. So it is half into something like this. So how to remember it? You can remember a cyclic order like this, 1 2 3. If you start with x1, then it is y2 minus y3. Suppose you start with x2, then what it will be? You should go in this way. If it is start with x2, then it is y3 minus y1. If you start with this position x3, then it is y1 minus y2. So you can remember in this cyclic order. That's why I have drawn this way. Or if you study your matrix determinant in your class 12, but that is next semester. So we'll come to that in later part after completing this. So you will see we can remember it in matrix format also. So you can remember it because those who have already studied, you know how to calculate this determinant. So this is something 1 1 1, and then x1 x2 x3 3 coordinates. x1 x2 x3, what are the coordinates? They are the 3 points of the triangle. This is x1 y1, this is another coordinate x2 y2, and this is x3 y3. But while we are applying for determinant, one thing you should take carefully, while you are taking x1 x2 x3, you should take it in the anti-clockwise direction. Here I have taken it clockwise direction. You see, from x1 I go to x2, then x3, so it is wrong. So in this way, if you do this way, nothing will happen, only a negative sign will come. But area cannot be negative, you just make it positive, that's it. There is no harm. So if I take this one x1 y1, then which one should be x2 y2? This one, because I am going anti-clockwise direction, this direction. So this one should be x3 y3. So this should be standard. If you put it here, then you will get positive area. The value will be same. If you get negative, don't worry, you just change it. Now the same theorem, area of the triangle, can be extended to find whether 3 points are collinear or not. If the 3 points are collinear, then you cannot make a triangle with these 3 points. Can you make triangle with these 3 points? No. You can make it, or if you pull this B out of it. If you pull this B here, then you can make a triangle. Otherwise, if B is lying between these two, then you cannot make a triangle. So if you cannot make a triangle, that means area will be 0. So this area will be equal to 0. Or this theorem also, this line also you can say, or in terms of determinant also you can say. This should be equal to 0, this should be equal to 0, or this is equal to 0. If this is 0, then you say 3 points are collinear. And what are these 3 points coordinate? x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3. Now whatever we learned now, these are known as Cartesian coordinate. You have seen there, you might have seen this is known as Cartesian coordinate. That means you in terms of x and y. So there are other coordinate system also. So here it is known as polar coordinate system. Polar coordinate of a point. What is the polar coordinate? This is the polar axis, x, o, x dash. Only one axis is required here now, x, o, x dash. And this is the point O, which is pole, against which you are rotating. Just you are rotating a ray. That's it. So OX is positive side, and OX is this is positive, and OX dash, this is negative side. So suppose a point OP is there, a point P, which is at a distance of r unit from O, and which is making it an angle of theta with positive x-axis. Then the polar coordinate of P will say r comma theta. So r will be significant, what is the distance, and theta will locate at what angle it should be with x-axis. So with this also you can fix this P. You can fix this point P with this coordinate also. It should be at a 5 unit from this, and it should be at an angle of 30 degrees. So it should be like here only. You cannot change the position. So this is also one way to represent the coordinate of P. If theta is measured in anti-clockwise, then it is positive. If theta is measured in clockwise, then it is negative. Now what is the relation between Cartesian and polar coordinate? There is a relation. If you see this one, this is my Cartesian coordinate x o x dash and y o y dash. This is my Cartesian coordinate, this is my polar coordinate. So if you see what is the location of the Cartesian coordinate, it was written as x comma y. In polar coordinate is written as r comma theta. So what is the relation? This is your r, this is theta. So this is your r cos theta, this is your r sin theta. So this is your x, this is your y. So if it is given in polar, you can change it to rectangular or Cartesian coordinate system. And if it is given in Cartesian x and y, you can change it to r and theta, where r is equal to, you see, this is the length, so it is hypotenuse, and this is tan theta y by x. But here theta will depend on the quadrant, on what quadrant you are, because if you are in this quadrant, then this will be theta. So your tan theta will give me, your should be negative, so your y by x should be, so what should be your theta? If you take, because y negative can be here also, because tan negative, so you have to take tan theta for second quadrant. So that you have to be little careful. That's why I have written. It depends on which quadrant it is, this formula. The idea is same, but you have to do a little bit manipulation. If it is in second quadrant, if you see x negative, y positive, that means in second quadrant, then your theta will be, so whatever you got from here, you take absolute value of y and x, you measure this angle, then 180 minus that angle will give you the answer. We will see all these things. If you like the video, then press the like button and please give your valuable comments in the comment section.